Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth, and it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everybody, I give you a six-figure MBA level worth of investing and financial knowledge for free here on YouTube. And the things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn in grad school and business school, I give it to you for this channel for free, okay? Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to one of my sponsors, Kilico Solutions. If you need digital marketing, website development, or someone to simply edit your videos, they're the best in the business that do it, whatever. They're the ones who basically edit all my videos, and they're nice. So I want to give them a shout out, okay? Also, everybody, please hit that like button. Please hit that notification bell so that you know when I bring you new content, all right? So today we're going to talk about the financial mindset and the different financial actions that you can take in order to build your generational wealth. And if you're familiar with this channel, you know that's what I'm always about. I'm about basically changing your mindset, essentially taking different type of steps so that you can build generational wealth and essentially never have to work again. So financial mindset number one, you need to have a plan. I want you guys to go on my website or whatever, link's gonna be below, and I want you to basically grab one of my Financipation budgets, and I want you to create a budget. You essentially, people, need to be a steward of the money that you get. It is literally impossible to retire with dignity and with respect, and it is literally impossible to build generational wealth, essentially, if you do not have a budget. It's like trying to essentially drive to a country and having no idea where it is and not having a map or a GPS. It's not possible. So you need to make wise decisions with the money that you make. I've done financial consultations over there with medical professionals in Miami that make literally $350,000 to $400,000 a year, and they are dead broke. Why? Because they spend over $500,000 a year on women, on party, on alcohol, and on vacationing and traveling or whatever. So it does not necessarily matter how much you make. I've also done consultations conversely with teachers and social workers also in Miami who essentially make around $40,000 a year, but they live on $30,000 a year and they invest that $10,000 difference. And these people are retiring with dignity and respect. So once again, it's not necessarily how much money you make, it's what you do with what you make. So I want you to essentially write down your income that's coming in, and I want you to write down your expenses that are going out. Essentially, people, cut your expenses, increase your income, and invest the difference. So have a plan, okay? Lastly, as I stated earlier, your income levels are kind of irrelevant when it comes to this. For instance, Curt Schilling, Antoine Walker, Adrian Peterson. These are all essentially sports Hall of Famers who made well over $100 million playing baseball, professional basketball, and professional football. And right now, all of them at the time of this recording are dead broke. Next, the next financial mindset that I want you to essentially adopt is this. You need to save and invest. My wife and I right now, because we have a young family, we are investing around 25% of our income. As it boils down to it, children are very expensive. These are the statistics of Americans who are saving and investing their money. At the time of this recording, 10% of Americans have literally no savings in their bank account, and they also have $0 in their retirement. 28% of Americans could only last 3 months if they got fired from their job or whatever. 42% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account, and 50% of Americans would not be able to cover a $400 emergency. Think about that for a minute, people. Additionally, 60% of Americans have less than $5,000 in their savings, and the average American only invests 5% of their income. Due to a combination, I believe, of sexism, to some extent racism, pay gap discrepancies, and bad choices that they make, 50% of women today have no retirement between the ages of 55 to 65. 62% of women have less than $1,000 in savings, and the average woman with a bachelor's degree right now in America at 65 only has $12,000 saved for retirement. People, those numbers are terrifying. It's as simple as that. And lastly, everybody, I'm gonna say this: 13% of Americans have no savings at all or whatever at the age of 65. If you take a look at numbers like that, it makes you realize, unfortunately, why the homeless population, and I hate to say this, is steadily increasing in cities like Miami, in cities like DC, in cities like Philadelphia, in places like St. Louis, in places like South Hill, and everything, and Los Angeles, and so forth. People, the American government, and I don't know how else to say this, the American government is not coming to save you, and Social Security, it flat out won't last forever. People, you need to multiply your money by investing into your 401k, your Roth IRA, HSAs, businesses, and real estate, period. You need to hold these assets over time, because things like real estate, the S&P 500, and property, generally speaking, over a 30 to 100-year period, have never lost money, and they increase over time. So people, you have to get serious about investing. Simple as that. As I said earlier, cut your expenses, increase your income essentially, and invest the difference. Lastly, because I'm a numbers guy and and I like examples, I'll say it like this. If you consistently invest $500 a month into an investment that returns roughly 14%, 30 years later, you will have roughly $2.5 million waiting for you in retirement. That is essentially, people, how you retire with dignity and with respect. Next, the next financial mindset that I want you to adopt is this. I want you to avoid consumer debt at literally all costs. People, it's like this. Debt is a financial enslavement tool that are used on the masses to essentially keep us in financial bondage. It's as simple as that. Americans today, at the time of this recording in 2023, owe roughly $1 trillion of credit card debt. Yes, trillion with a T. The average American has $6,500 worth of credit card debt, and that credit card debt, people, is around 22%. People, that is financial slavery. Simple as that. I often brag on this channel about my investments returning roughly 12 to 14% as far as how I invest my money. And if you're kind of curious exactly how I do that, I have a one-on-one sessions you can book through my website. And additionally, on top of that, there's different types of financial packages that you can buy. I'll essentially walk you through my wife and I's investment strategy. And essentially, people, 12 to 14% is a great return or whatever, considering that real estate historically only averages about 9%. People, it's like this. Your credit card have an interest rate of around 22%. Essentially, people, if a good investment is 12% and the credit card companies are charging you 22% every month that you don't pay your bill, why do you think the house always wins? People, consumer credit card debt is, once again, an absolutely horrible investment for you. Avoid it at all costs. Avoid high interest credit cards, avoid high interest car loans, and consumer debt is financial bondage and it keeps you poor. So stop buying liabilities like clothes. Stop buying liabilities like cars that depreciate literally the second you drive them off the lot. Stop buying, wasting your money on stupid expensive vacations or whatever. And instead, people, start focusing on buying things like houses, like businesses, like land, like mutual funds, and like real estate. Why? Because those are appreciating assets or whatever that essentially build up over time. Financial mindset number 4, people, you have to have discipline. Do you have the discipline, people, to live by that budget that you created earlier, to live essentially on less than you make and to invest the difference month in and month out? Discipline requires us, people, to do things that we don't necessarily like, but we have to do it so we can keep our eyes on the prize. I get up every morning at 3:30 a.m. to work out. I do it for 2 reasons. 1, it keeps me in phenomenal shape or whatever. And 2, it allows me to work longer and to work harder and do things like I'm doing right now on this podcast. It allows me essentially to create my generational wealth for my family as well as for myself. And you have to be disciplined, people, if you want to achieve financial emancipation and to build generational wealth. Before I go forward, everybody, please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop new content. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and I thoroughly enjoy giving you guys free content. The next thing we're going to talk about, people, are financial actions you need to take. Action number 1, it's as simple as this, people. Live on less than you make. I mean, your number 1 wealth building asset is going to be your income. That's the reason why I push people starting businesses on the side. That's the reason why I push people becoming entrepreneurs. It's the reason why I push people those who do work in corporate America that essentially have a company, essentially have a business on the side or whatever. That's why I push you creating digital e-products that can essentially make you money 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. If you make $5,000 a month, live on less than that. For comparison's sake, when I was single, I invested roughly 40% of what I made or whatever. And when I got married, my wife and I, we sat down and we created a budget and we figured out a way to continue to investing large amounts of money as far as what we bring home, despite any types of debts we may pay or things of that nature. So people, it's like simple as this. Live on less than you make, cut your expenses, and invest the difference. Next, the next financial action I want you to take is this. I want you to be consistent. Are you consistently working out so that you stay healthy and don't get obese? Are you consistently spending less than you make, cutting your expenses and investing the difference? Are you consistently reading books, listening to more financial channels like Financipation, and building your financial literacy? Rinse and repeat, people. You have to do it over and over again as far as investing, as far as cutting your expenses, and as far as saving your money consistently. Remember that analogy that I said earlier, as far as if you invest $500 a month for a few decades, you will have roughly $2.3 million waiting for it. Are you consistently doing that? Be consistent, people. Next, the next financial action I want you to take is this. I want you to be patient. This is actually something that I tell people as well in their relationships and in their dating life as well. But essentially, people, money is no different. You don't have to put your money in and wait. Slow and steady wins the race, people. That is something that I constantly tell to my clients and to my customers. At the end of the day, you should be investing as much as you can in your 401k, in your Roth IRA, in your HSA account. You should be investing as much as you can or whatever into real estate and into properties or whatever. Wealth, it takes time, people. And one of the things that I hate the most about our society right now is that stuff like Instagram, stuff like social media, stuff like Facebook, it pushes this narrative that you can essentially build wealth overnight. It pushes this nonsensical narrative or whatever that you can get rich overnight. And when you see people flashing their money like that, it unfortunately pushes people to do very risky and very stupid investments. My advice is simple, people: ignore that crap, okay? Invest consistently. Once again, cut your expenses, budget, invest the difference, and be patient. Wealth building, people, takes time. It takes decades. And if you do it the right way, when you get to like your late 30s, early 40s, you can start seeing the results of what you do. And when you get to your 50s and 60s, you're going to be living essentially in a world where you can retire with dignity and with respect. And lastly, financial action number 4. Always be willing to learn and invest in yourself. I'm a firm believer, everybody, that as human beings in this society that we live in, it is so easy to become a self-motivated self-learner, period. The fact that you are watching this podcast right now means that you have hope, because it means you are serious about not dying in poverty, and you are serious about building generational wealth and financially emancipating yourself from poverty. People, always, always, always be willing to read another book. Always be willing to listen to another financial or leadership podcast. Always be willing to watch channels like Financipation, and always be willing to obtain a new certification or possibly a new college degree. I paid roughly $120,000 to obtain my MBA. And I won't go into the specifics as far as why I got screwed over into paying the amount. I have other videos where I talk about that. But I will say this: obtaining my MBA was one of the best financial decisions that I ever made, because I always had an affinity for money. I wanted to find out from an academic pedigree perspective, how does money actually work? And the best thing about having an MBA is that firstly, it taught me how money actually works. And secondly, an MBA, it gets you a seat at literally any table in any room that you want to be in. It's kind of like being that really pretty girl with a very nice body. An MBA allows you to stand out in the crowd, and it gets you to put your foot into any door that you want to get into. My advice is simple, people. Always be willing to invest in yourself, because money is attracted to people who work hard and who never stop learning. So, once again, everybody, I'm gonna go back to that example I said earlier. If you consistently invest $500 a month into an investment that returns roughly 14%, 30 years later, you will have roughly $2.5 million waiting for you in retirement. And with that amount of money, you can retire with dignity and with respect. So with this, and everybody, I just wanted to talk about financial mindsets and financial actions that you should be taking and everything. And once again, everybody, if you're 50 years old watching this video and you're like, Chris, I have not been investing consistently over my life, I don't have a lot of money. Well, it's like this, everybody. You watch this video so you can force change your behavior or whatever. We live in America, and despite all the ills of America, I will say this is the greatest country in the world in regards to building wealth. So regardless of where you are, your state in life and everything, people, you can start the process and the journey of building your generational wealth and financially emancipating yourself from poverty, okay? With that, everybody, this channel, once again, is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth, and it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a one-on-one session with me at any point. The link is below. And once again, you can please follow me on Spotify, Financipation. You can follow me on Instagram, @thereal_Financipation. You can follow me on TikTok. My Facebook page is Financipation as well. And I want you to check out some of my digital and my e-products as well, okay? My blog is coming out very soon. And with that, everybody, hit that notification bell. It's your boy, Chris. I'm out. Peace.